How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Daily Stand-Up. So if you remember from last time that we've kind of been working on this part of the Rust microservice, so I'm adding an endpoint to get data from all the engine data that's processed in my Rust microservice. So I started, I kind of started the layout of how I'm going to structure this inside my Rust microservice. So if we look at that code right here, you'll see that I have now a sub project in my Rust source folder here. So I have, this is my Rust project that I'm working in. This was just the Rust API that I was testing, making REST APIs in. So this here is my main folder, and you can see now I have a sub project that contains its own source and then a file here. And then I just put kind of a placeholder method here for post engine data. What I'm intending to have this do is take the take the data from this main method, and let's say, just as an example of when temperatures exceed 500, call that method and post the data up to some database. I haven't decided what that's going to be yet. Maybe MySQL, just to keep it easy. But yeah, so it's going to call this method within the sub project to post that. So that's I have to start there for the REST API because I need the data to be populated in the database before I expose an endpoint to return that data. So this is like the first step, and I wanted to keep it outside of that main folder, but I wanted to also experiment with adding sub projects in this project. So how I did that was, let me see if I have it in my, so you see here, I ran cargo new subproject -- lib, and that created the subproject for me. Then what I had to do was I had to go inside the my roots cargo file, and then actually add that dependency here. So subproject equals, and then just give it the path. And then you also have to add it to your workspace here. But I think that did that automatically for me, I'm pretty sure. So I think that's all the setup I had to do. And I also had to clean, I had to do cargo clean, and then I just did a cargo build so to run those. So you can see cargo clean and then cargo build, and then I was ready to go. Another thing I want to show you, so first I should say that obviously I don't know if I'm going to add another sub project for the actual endpoint itself. I'm not sure yet. I might look into that because I might keep these methods specifically separated. I'm not sure yet though. So yeah, I have to implement this obviously to connect to the database. I'm still deciding what database I want to use. I have MySQL running locally, but I don't know. I'm gonna use that if I have to, but I kind of want to see if there's any other maybe alternatives to use that, or alternatives I can use. But I might just end up using MySQL, to be honest with you. So another thing I also set up too is that you'll see on the left hand side I have a C file now. I intend to use C for a few reasons. One, I want to learn C since I'm already learning more of a systems level language anyway with Rust. I feel like I should also take a look at C just because I've never formally done that, and I think it would just be this is a good opportunity to do that as well. And I know I'm going to have a lot of location data, so I think it would be cool to implement a specific algorithm I need in C, just because it'll probably be the fastest implementation of the algorithm. So that's what I'm setting it up to be. I have to run tests and see how it performs. But the way I did this was, if you go to you can hold on, let me find where my script is here. Not that. Where are we at? So Rust, you can define custom build scripts, And for me, I defined this build script to compile my C file. And I got this referenced from this book here, this Code Like a Pro and Rust book. They have a little tutorial on how to set this up, but it's not really that. It's not too crazy. It's basically just this code here, and let me go to my C. I've already been in my C file. Well, this is the C file. I literally doesn't have anything in it. I just have some method in there to do something just to allow me to make the link inside my Rust project. But if I go back to my cargo, my root cargo file, you can see I have now this dependency for libc. Let's see if it'll let me mouse over that. I don't think so. Let me see if I can pull it up real fast. Let's see. Okay. So it just provides basically everything that you need for C. I think it must just provide like the same, like the bindings to platform. Okay. I wonder if this is like, because again, I come from a .NET world, right? I wonder if this is like the same as like including a DLL file. I wonder if it's just like providing the. So okay, interesting. But yeah, so that's the crate I included, and I also had to add this as a build dependency. CC. Let me go find docs on that. So here's the CC crate. Library for cargo build scripts to compile a set of C, C++, assembly. So basically a lot of system level stuff. And it tells you how to implement it. So that's what my build.rs file looks like as well. And then you can just define basically the method and then essentially the interface. You can call the Rust by declaring them in Rust code. So essentially you're just defining the interface that you can call then from your Rust code. So kind of neat. If you ever use CC, let me know. But obviously this stuff is all new to me in Rust, so I wanted a chance to experiment with it. But again, if we go back to my main file, you can see that I'm calling now two methods here. So post engine data is again calling it from my sub project, so it's referencing the external method here, and then I'm calling my C method here. So that's defined above here. So just like the docs show you right there, you have to define these guys. So whatever, the impression I get is that whatever method you add in C, you have to basically define or update your interface, if you want to call it that, in Rust, right? Is again coming from .NET, it's called interface. So I had to define it there, and then you just specify what the return type is, and then you actually have to create a method, right, to call that. So yeah, it's kind of weird, and it's definitely not something that where'd my, there it is. Yeah, you can see that they have a calling function to call those. So it's definitely a weird layout for sure, and it's definitely not something that am used to. But I thought it was really neat that you can just directly link those files like that and call that. The closest that I've ever gotten, I guess, to this form of linking is probably in React Native, how you can actually you can define specific overrides if you want to call Java functions. and you can link those files. So if you ever worked in React Native, I guess as just another point of reference, I guess this could be interpreted the same way as that in a sense. But so this is pretty neat. So my plan is to try to incorporate or try to create the shortest path algorithm I need, the Dijkstra's algorithm in C, and then be able to call that from my main Rust file here. At least that's my plan. Again, we'll see if it plays out. But yeah, for right now though, I'm focusing on that, and then focusing on getting my Rust API up and running, and having posting data to a database, and then returning that data back from the database. Once it's returned, it's just going to be, I think, well, see, I think I might just leave it as an endpoint and then just have Postman call it. I don't know if I'm going to go I don't know if I'm going to hook it up to have my .NET application be able to call that endpoint. Not sure yet. Actually, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do there. What I'm thinking is so if Rust has the endpoint that it exposes publicly, if I'm going to go ahead and create basically a calling endpoint on my .NET side and have it connect to that Rust, or have it call that Rust endpoint. Not sure if I want to put a front end in front of the this Rust endpoint, then I'll have to do that. Yeah, I'm not sure yet though. So, but that's a little down the road. So once I get this kind of wired up, and some more Rust things, I think we'll be in good shape for this part of the project. But the C part is just really another learning curve for me, and it gives, honestly, it gives me an excuse to learn C for this project too, and just incorporate it, and just really try to, well, one, learn another lower level language, but two, try to really expand or push the boundary as far as what options are available, what options do I have to make a system, right? So if I all of a sudden open it up to these lower level system languages, then that really opens the door for a lot of really powerful programming. So yeah, we'll see. But that's kind of where I'm at for this part of the project here. As far as recording video of setting that stuff up in Rust, I can, but since it's so new to me, it's I don't know how quality that video would be. I'm not sure. But yeah, so again, I'm gonna update this, and then I will I'll post updates on the comments, and I'm gonna keep working on the system. All right, everyone, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.